There are secrets not buried in the future, but deep beneath the earth. Doors sealed for thousands of years suddenly open, forcing humanity to face a past we never truly understood. From armies turned to stone, lost cities, ancient curses, to manuscripts that could rewrite religious history. These aren't just archaeological discoveries. They are puzzle pieces that make history fall silent. In today's video, we uncover the top 5 most shocking archaeological finds ever discovered. Petra, the forgotten city of stone, and its return from the sands. Deep in the arid deserts of southern Jordan lies a narrow canyon called the Siq, stretching nearly 2 kilometers, flanked by towering cliffs up to 80 meters high. As you walk through the winding path of rock, suddenly, it appears. A colossal structure, carved directly into blood-red sandstone. Its towering facade, majestic columns, and intricate carvings are so surreal, you'd think you're looking at a mirage. But this is no legend. This is Petra, a city that vanished from maps for nearly 1,000 years. Petra was once the capital of the Nabateans, an ancient Arab people famed for their mastery of trade. They built this city around the 4th century BCE, in the heart of a barren desert with no rivers, no forests, no fertile land. So how did they survive? With stone, and with an advanced water management system far ahead of its time. The Nabateans carved the cliffs to capture rainwater, tap underground springs, build reservoirs, and channel water throughout the city, a feat almost unimaginable in that era. This system transformed Petra into a thriving trade oasis, a key hub linking Arabia, Rome, Persia, and the West. And then, mysteriously, Petra disappeared. Some believe it was due to earthquakes, shifting trade routes, or Roman conquest. For centuries, no one knew Petra ever existed, aside from a few vague references in ancient texts. It was lost to time, buried beneath sand and silence. Locals called it the ghost city. Few dared to approach. Until 1812, a Swiss explorer named Johann Burckhardt, disguised as an Arab traveler, ventured into the forbidden lands. With wit and persistence, he convinced local guides to lead him through the Siq. And the moment he emerged from the narrow canyon, he saw it, Petra, silent, massive, mysterious, like an ancient soul, awakening after 1,000 years. Today, Petra is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Yet, only around 15% of the city has been excavated. The rest, still hidden beneath red stone and earth, remains untouched, unknown. Maybe Petra wants it that way. A part of it has returned to the world, but the rest still belongs to the sand, the stone, and the secrets that ancient time refuses to let go. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang and the Terracotta army. There is an army that has slept beneath the earth for over 2,000 years. They do not breathe, yet each bears a distinct face, a fierce gaze, as if still waiting for orders from a long-dead emperor. And the story begins with a single shovel in 1974 in the countryside of Xi'an, China. As farmers were digging a well, they struck something hard. A strange face emerged from the soil, not a fossil, not pottery, but a warrior. No one could have guessed that what they had found was just the surface of a vast underground force. Over 8,000 life-size statues of soldiers, horses, and chariots, buried in perfect military formation. And remarkably, no 2 statues are the same. Each face carved with striking detail, young or old, stern or calm, with every wrinkle, hairstyle, and expression carefully etched, as if a real army had been turned to stone. The commander of this silent army was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unify China, famous for his absolute power and his obsession with immortality. From the moment he took the throne, he ordered the construction of his own tomb, a project that spanned decades and employed over 700,000 laborers. But that was just the surface. the mystery that has haunted archaeologists for decades. The central tomb of Qin Shi Huang remains untouched, not because we don't know where it is. The man-made burial mound has been clearly identified, and modern surveys have revealed something strange: extremely high levels of mercury in the soil, matching ancient texts that describe rivers of mercury flowing through the tomb. Excavating the site faces three major obstacles. First, the risk of irreversible damage to delicate internal structures. Second, concerns about toxic substances like mercury that could harm both humans and the environment. And third, something no one speaks of, but everyone feels: an invisible hesitation. Some call it scientific caution. Others believe it's the Emperor's curse. A ruler said to have buried hundreds of craftsmen alive to protect the tomb's secrets. A chamber untouched for over 2 millennia. An emotionless army that seems to stand guard over something never meant to be awakened. Maybe it's just vague fear. Or maybe it's a warning, a signal to humanity to know when to stop, because some secrets weren't meant to be discovered. They were meant to stay buried. The tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. In 1922, in a desert-filled valley in Egypt, a young water boy walked past the tents of an archaeological team. He tripped over a stone jutting out of the ground, a small object, but one that would unlock the gateway to the most intact tomb ever discovered in ancient Egyptian history. Leading the excavation was British archaeologist Howard Carter. After years of searching in vain in the Valley of the Kings, he was running out of funds and hope. But after that small discovery, he ordered the team to dig down, and they uncovered a staircase completely buried under sand. The team continued clearing the path until they reached a sealed stone wall marked with a royal insignia, Tutankhamun, and behind that door was a room filled with treasure. Unlike most tombs that had been looted centuries ago, Tutankhamun's tomb was nearly untouched. Thousands of artifacts were tightly packed into the chambers. Statues of gods, ritual beds, chariots, musical instruments, jewelry made of solid gold, and at the heart of it all, a solid gold coffin containing the mummified body of the young pharaoh. Tutankhamun ascended the throne at just around 9 years old and died young at 18. He was not one of Egypt's greatest kings, but the untouched state of his tomb made his name echo across the world. And then, after the tomb was opened, strange things began to happen. The expedition's financial backer, Lord Carnarvon, died suddenly just months later from an infected mosquito bite. On the day he died, all of Cairo's lights mysteriously went out. His dog, back in England, reportedly howled and collapsed at the exact same moment. And so, the legend of the pharaoh's curse began to spread. According to an inscription said to be found in the tomb, "Death shall come to those who disturb the king's sleep." In the years that followed, several members of the excavation team died under unusual circumstances. Some said it was coincidence or exposure to ancient bacteria and toxins sealed in the tomb for millennia. But others believed something had been awakened, and it was taking revenge. Today, Tutankhamun's treasure is one of Egypt's greatest national symbols, proudly displayed in the Cairo Museum. His mummy still lies in the very room where he was first buried. And the curse? No one can say for sure it's real. But no one dares say it isn't. Perhaps Tutankhamun died young, but with a tomb found untouched after more than 3,000 years, he achieved immortality in another way. Göbekli Tepe. When we talk about humanity's oldest structures, most people think of the Giza pyramids, built around 4,500 years ago. But there's a place, silent and still, on a hilltop in Turkey, that predates them by nearly 7,000 years. Its name is Göbekli Tepe, a mysterious monument built at a time when, according to history books, humans were still living as hunter-gatherers. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt was surveying the high plains near the Syrian border when he noticed stone blocks jutting out of the ground. Locals assumed they were ordinary rocks or remnants of an old cemetery. But when Schmidt began to dig, everything changed. He uncovered massive T-shaped stone pillars, some standing over 6 meters tall and weighing dozens of tons, arranged in circular enclosures, as if designed for ritual gatherings. On these pillars were carvings of lions, snakes, foxes, wild bulls, and birds. So vivid and intricate they looked as if they had just been etched yesterday. The discovery stunned the archaeological world. The site dates back approximately 11,600 years. That's before the invention of the wheel, before agriculture, and 7,000 years before the Egyptian pyramids. How could a group of Stone Age people, with no metal tools, no written language, construct a massive religious site like this? No one has a definitive answer. And that's what makes Göbekli Tepe so paradoxical. Until now, historians believed that agriculture came first, then settlements, followed by society, and finally religion and temples. But this discovery flips that order upside down. What if religion came first, and people began to gather, farm, and build communities because of the need to worship? What if faith itself sparked civilization? There's another mystery. After thousands of years, the builders themselves deliberately buried Göbekli Tepe, not due to war, not because of disaster. They carefully filled in every chamber with dirt and rubble, as if they were hiding something. Today, Göbekli Tepe is still being excavated slowly, piece by piece. Only about 5% of the site has been uncovered. The rest remains buried beneath the layers of time. And the deeper archaeologists dig, the more it feels like they're touching a forgotten chapter of human history, one that challenges everything we thought we knew. Perhaps we don't understand the past as well as we think, because the greatest mysteries don't lie in the future, they lie just beneath our feet. Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1947, in the desolate desert near the Dead Sea, a young Bedouin shepherd was searching for a lost goat. As he walked along the cliffs of Qumran, he tossed a stone into a narrow cave and heard an unexpected sound, breaking pottery. Climbing in to investigate, he discovered a large clay jar. Inside were no treasures of gold or weapons of war, but ancient scrolls, carefully rolled and wrapped in linen. No one could have imagined that what the boy held in his hands would become one of the greatest religious and archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. The Dead Sea Scrolls were later identified as religious manuscripts over 2,000 years old, believed to belong to an isolated Jewish sect known as the Essenes. In total, researchers uncovered more than 900 scrolls, including the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, along with hundreds of texts never seen in any religious canon. The most astonishing part? Some of these texts are nearly identical to the modern Bible, despite being separated by 2 millennia. But others are strikingly different, suggesting beliefs, rituals, and interpretations of faith that had never been revealed before. This left scholars with profound questions. Who really wrote these texts? Were they considered heretics in their time? And why were the scrolls hidden away in desert caves, only to vanish without a trace? Some scrolls describe a war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, as if recording a divine battle that once took place, or one yet to come. Others detail strict laws, purification rituals, and the expectation of a coming Messiah, unlike any known religious group. These findings have sparked major speculation. Could the scrolls reshape our understanding of the Bible and its origins? Or worse, have parts of history been intentionally hidden, censored, or never meant to be seen? To this day, many fragments remain untranslated or unreleased. Some are too fragile, too damaged to read. Others, perhaps, ask questions no one is ready to answer. The Dead Sea Scrolls are more than just ancient relics. They are clues to a parallel spiritual history, one that may have once been written, then deliberately concealed. Perhaps the truth doesn't lie in what we've read, but in what still remains buried in the caves no one dares to open. What we've just uncovered. is only a tiny piece of the mysteries still buried beneath the dust of time. Is history really what we were taught, or is it just part of a much bigger truth? If you found these stories fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It gives me the motivation to keep uncovering more hidden secrets. And drop a comment to let me know which discovery impressed you the most.